Welcome back. I'm Emily at Emily's podcast, Tribute to All Little Angels, Part 12, Episode 7 of The Timeline, May 27th, 2025. I thank God. I start my day, and as you know, I need to record. So, 3, 2, 1, here I go. Have a great day. And then later this evening, I did get the episode recorded, but by the time I were done, I am relieved and tired. May 28, 2025. This morning and afternoon, I'm spending time with my daughter and granddaughter. The episode airs tonight at 8 o'clock p.m. And of course, it's an episode from the timeline and the descriptions of the pictures. As every Wednesday, I have talked and I have described the pictures of the visits at the cemetery. Knowing what I know, knowing what has happened, and taking and having the pictures, and knowing too, there is something wrong here. And I do know too that it only took one picture is all I needed to get the attention this cemetery needs help with. And I know one thing that needs fixed. The headstones that are out of place needs to be moved back to where they belong. Do the right thing. Fix it. And until then, I'm going to keep telling Megan's story in hopes of a fix-it ending. My daughter and I went to a few stores and out to lunch. On our way back home, I drive through the cemetery to check on things before taking Madison home. And then afterward, I went home. May 29th, 2025. This morning, I'm awakened by a lawnmower from my neighbor's house. Not that I mind, I'm not a nitpicker like that, but as I look out the corner of the shade of the window, where daylight was barely shining through, it did not look like it was going to be a sun-shining day, and I raised my head to look at the time, and it's just a little after 7 a.m. I lay my head down and thought, okay. I roll over and lay there listening. About an hour and a half later, his lawn people are finished, but by this time I'm up having breakfast and a cup of tea. When I finish, I get ready to go to the country, a breath of fresh air, and as I arrive, our friend is asleep in his chair. I ask, what are you doing? He said, I opened the door for you and I sat down and I fell asleep. I said, well, that's okay if that's what you needed to do. I start cleaning as he sits and watches TV. And when I finish, we went to the stores. When we finish at the stores, I get him home and I went home too. When I get home, I relax on the patio watching the blue jay birds fly. There is 2 of them. Then it clouds up and the rain begins. It's coming down pretty hard too. I sit and listen. I relax. And then a bit later, I went inside. As I clean a little before bed, I'm hoping and praying the cemetery doesn't flood. But as well as you all know, I will check it out as soon as I can. May 30th, 2025. Good morning, and I thank God. For some reason, I feel I need to stay home, write an episode, work in the screenplay. And for some reason, this feeling is pretty strong. So I did. The first part of the day, I wrote an episode, and that's it. I wrote it. I did not reread, edit or time it yet, but I will. The second part of my day, I clean the pool. I clean up some outside and then inside. And believe me, when this day was over, I'm thankful for all I'm able to get done. May 31st, 2025. Well. My day starts today with a need for a heat and air guy. By 2:17 p.m., a guy is working on the unit outside. And then a van pulls up from his company, and his partner brings him a part that he needs for the unit. He does get it on, and it's all okay now. And believe me, I'm happy for that. As my day moves on, I sit outside and I sit there thinking. I'm thankful for getting the episode written for the podcast yesterday. And while sitting here, my friend, my black and white stray cat, rubs up on my legs as I water a couple plants. It startles me, but when I know what it is, I'm okay with it. It hangs out with me a good 10 minutes, and then it moseys around on the patio like it lives here, and I don't mind. When the cat walks away, I went inside. June 1st, 2025. This morning, before I did anything, I reread and timed the episode. It is ready to record, although I know I won't record today, so I'm going to the cemetery. I picked Madison up and we went. I pull up to Wyatt's area at 3:56 p.m. I snap a picture of his area, we visit with him, and I pull around to visit Megan. And as I pull up, water is covering the ground. I did take a picture. And then in the second picture, it's of the same area as picture one. It's a close-up. And the third picture is a wider view of this same area. In the next picture, moving north, Babyland 6th West area is flooded. Megan's flowers are still here, and sometimes we wonder how her flowers stay in place through the water. But as the pictures show, they do. The fifth picture is a full view picture of Babyland 6th West. And yes, it is definitely underwater. In the sixth picture also. The seventh picture shows the same area, water laying all over, and it shows the area more north. In the eighth picture is of Megan's resting area. It is flooded, and her flower stands tall. Like I've said, baby, hang on to them. In the ninth picture, it's of the southeast headstone, the rock headstone, and there are flowers stuck in the ground at these two headstones also. There is another flower stuck in the ground of where Megan's headstone had washed away too back in 2015. And for some reason, Madison wants to stick that flower there. And I'm okay with that. And in this area too, there is water that covers the ground. The next picture, I stand north on the street. I take a picture from the electrical pole to the south. There is water that covers the ground. And in the 10th picture, it's from the south of the electrical pole to the south of the existing tree. The branches on the south end are showing. And there is water laying in the ground, and it is visible. In the 11th picture, it's the full view of Babyland 6th West. And in the 12th picture, the existing tree is in the center of the picture. And looking at this picture, it's sad. It's sad for the ones who know of this or have had questions of this area. And it's sad for the ones who don't know, but needs to know. The next picture is of the lineup from the small newly set in drain, set in 2019, to the black and white Babyland sign, to the double headstones that are definitely out of place and obviously recognized in the pictures, to the blue and white Babyland 6th West sign, and onto the tree, the existing tree, and that is the south tree. And then on to the west, to the newly set in headstone, set in 2019 also. There are also headstones to the south, to the west, and to the north. The 14th picture is of the south of the tree, to the north, where the north tree sat. Water is visible here too. The 15th picture is more north, and more water is seen. The 16th picture is of the same area. And in the 17th picture, it shows a corner of the big old rusty drain, and it has been here since 1999, and I'm sure before. This drain used to line up with the north tree, and as you can see in this picture, the tree standing, the existing tree, is not the north tree. The next picture is more south and shows all of the drain to the existing tree and onto the electrical pole, which definitely shows, again, there is no way a south tree was located between this existing tree and the electrical pole. No way. It shows in pictures of the day of Megan's funeral. Let's compare the two pictures. When I finish taking pictures, I sit to look out over the area. A short time later, I pull back around to Wyatt's area. Water lays over the sidewalk. Water is soppy in the ground. I then take a picture of Wyatt's backside of his headstone. I talk with my angels, and I drive onto the west side again. I take a few more pictures, and we leave the cemetery. As I pull away, I think, here I go again, describing the pictures, comparing the pictures, when all I need is a picture. A short time later, I take Madison home, and I went home. And I'm happy to be here too. I cry. June 2nd, 2025. Have a great day. A day to record, or at least try to. Have a good one. June 3rd, 2025. I thank God. I pray too. I did not get the episode recorded, so I'm going to work on it again today, and for some reason, I'm carrying a heavy heart. I feel it weighs me down. I sit at the edge of the bed and I ask God to lift the weight. I pray to Him to help me get the episode recorded for Megan and the rest. The fight. I'm fighting. I cry. I sit quietly, and then I begin. I try once, twice, 3 times. My body tightens. I get up to get a drink of water, and I start again. I try again and again. And man, I am feeling it. I message Madison, I message my sister Susie. I ask them both the same question. I get some water to drink again, and I sit to try it one more time. I got about 40 seconds in, and I made a mistake. And then I start again. I take a deep breath, and I begin to talk. I got it. Oh my gosh, finally. And I thank God. And of course, I'm crying. I'm stressing, but I'm relieved when I'm finished. I make some hot tea and I sit. I calm myself down and I went to bed. June 3rd, 2025. Waking up this morning, I feel I need a break. The episode is recorded, it is scheduled, so I went to the country. The visit wasn't a bad one. No one is here. So I sit on a wicker glider on the front porch and just sit here. I sit a while too, and it felt darn good to think of nothing. To sit listening to the birds, the crickets, seeing a bunny hop by, and I'm content right now. When I went to leave, I can say I feel better. When getting home, I talk with my sister Susie. As we talk, I tell her of the past few days and how difficult it is to record. She said, "Sis, you know you can take a break if you need to." I sit quietly. She said, "Are you there?" I say, "Yes, but I can't. I have to keep moving this story forward." Then she said, "Well, if you need one, take it, okay?" I said, "Oh, I know. I will if I need it." And then we talk of the title of Megan's story. That's what it is right now, Megan's story. And then a thought came to mind. My sister, I tell her, and she said, "Oh, wow." I said, "I may call it The Diary from Heaven." My sister said that will be a good title. I thought about it for a second and I said, "Yes, I think we might go with that." And then we were both quiet. I thought, where did that come from? And then Susie and I talk a little longer and say good night. June 4th, 2025. My eyes open and I thank God. The episode airs tonight at 8 o'clock p.m. is my first thought. And then my morning seems peaceful, not such a heavy weight. The weights that can tear you down quicker than trying to lift 300 pounds. I will not attempt. I get my day started. I went to the cemetery. I pull up to Wyatt's area at 2:38 p.m. I snap a photo from a distance because yet again, water covers the sidewalk and the ground, as in picture 2 shows. And in the third picture, it's from the pavilion of Wyatt's headstone and area. In the fourth picture is a close-up of Wyatt's headstone. In the next picture, I take a picture from the sidewalk facing south. Headstones all neatly in a row, as they should be. But let me remind you, Babyland 6th West is not. In fact, the headstones are out of their rightful location, and they need to be fixed. The sixth picture is of Wyatt's area. And then as I walk away, I take a picture facing north. And yet again, the headstones are all in a row. In the eighth picture, it is of the water that lays around the outer edges of the pavilion building. In the ninth picture, it's of the headstones facing south and of water laying on the grounds around headstones. As I get to the car, I have to sit for a few minutes because at times it all just takes my breath away. I mean, why not have they not fixed this matter years ago, even before 2019? I then pull around to the west side. I start taking pictures of all the water laying on the ground and in puddles. I take 6 pictures of this area And in the seventh picture, it is a full view picture of Babyland 6th West. And yes, of course, water has it flooded out. In the second and third pictures are of the same. The fourth picture is of the newly set in drain, and then back west to the newly set in headstone, set in 2019. And water surrounds this area too. In the fifth picture is of the same as picture 4, but facing more north where the north tree sat at one time. And then the next 2 pictures I take facing south, and it is such a mess. In the 8th picture, it's a full view picture of the area from the existing tree to the north where headstones sit now, but the north tree sat there. Yet again, letting you know, until a storm cracked it in half and the city removed the north tree. I had still sat under this same existing tree with Megan and others until 2015. The 9th picture is me standing east of the north tree location, facing south of the Babyland 6th West area, and it is underwater. When I get back in the car, I sit facing north. You can see a beautiful blue and big white clouds in the sky, and water lays on the ground in different areas. In the next 6 pictures are of different headstones surrounded by water in different areas. Wow. Wow is all I can say, with tears in my eyes. I leave the cemetery and went home. I relax sitting in my favorite chair on the patio, and I watch a blue jay bird sit on the fence line, and I take a few pictures as I watch. I relax a little while longer and then went inside. Thank you for listening. Stay kind with your words.